We are the rhythm people.
We are the rhythm people.
Woo! Okay, let's take a...
What is one of the ways that we can bridge that gap of unity between African Americans and Africans?
Okay, well, two things: education and tolerance. By tolerance and education, if you are educated, mostly we Africans, if we're educated.
Kodaya kakamani fajawaramina, Kodaya kakamani musalila, Kodaya kakamani fajawaramina, Sumawara ganila, Jaja Sumawara ganila, Sumawara ganila. Amor, merci beaucoup.
My name is Bernard Ambata Elamona. I come from Sankana in the Upper West region. Sankana is a historical town where Samori Ture, one of the slave raiders, was defeated in 1896. And since then, the people of Sankana have always celebrated Kalibis Festival, where Ras Badimo has come to perform on many occasions. What is significant is that slavery did not start from Accra or Kumasi. What happens is that people of northern extraction who had the physique, who had the energy, who were hardworking, were actually the people that the slave raiders wanted. So they harvested them from the north and transported them through the southern part and eventually Accra and Elmina, which became the final point before they were taken to the diaspora, whether into Brazil or into the Americas. And so therefore, we think that when you come and you are returning home, you don't come to where you settled in Accra. You should go back to your roots, and your roots will necessarily take you to the north, the Upper West region, the Upper East region, and the Northern region. And in particular, there is a market where slaves were sold in Salaga, which is in the Northern region. It is important to go and see how human beings were chained, were pegged like animals, and offered on auction, so that the slave raiders came there to buy them. So I look forward to the diaspora coming back to their roots and ensuring that we are able to build the foundation to stand strong.
I have more African ancestry than you'd be surprised. So what happened is that, how I dress or whatever, right? But when we talk about whether you're African American, Afro-French, or Afro-Spanish, our roots, do come from Africa. And so like when we talk about the djembe and West African drum, the goat skin. So when we talk about our bomba, we use goat skin. So what happens, you hear this music that's very relevant and it sounds familiar, right? So what's different? The drum shell, right? The djembe shell, and then you have like the bomba. So why is that so different? Why is it the djembe was made in Africa and this bomba drum is made in Puerto Rico? Well, what happens when you take, let's say Ghana, and you enslave the African, and you bring him over to the island, and there is no djembes on the island. He still remembers how to make his drum, and he puts a goat skin over a barrel, because in Puerto Rico we have barrels, right? And in Martinique, right, they do belay, right? And Guadeloupe, they do waka. These are all barrel drums. Come from what? The African diaspora.
Yes,
so,
we are the rhythm people.
Yes,
we are the rhythm people.
Yes, so we're divided by our colonizers, and we get confused sometimes by the colors of our skin. But we are divided by colonizers, and this is why we have these different languages. But when we remove our colonized language, and this is what we call soul music. When we connect to the soul, it connects to us, and then we connect.
The sister here that wants to resurrect a Black Wall Street, how do we teach them to communicate with the brother here that's interested in political parties in Nigeria? Art is a universal language. It's also that spirit of rhythm. If we can all go back to that first drum, that heartbeat inside your chest, and hear that we are the rhythm people, I think that that's the first step to engage in conversations like these. We're all here today because you wanted to know more about how to galvanize the resources that we have within our community to have conversations like this. I think it's important that we realize that the human resource is the greatest resource. We are the rhythm people. We are all we need. I have to say this, I probably should. The sister said that we should look at how we can buy investments on Wall Street and how we can build a Wall Street. How are we looking to buy investment in Africa? All resources that we have are in each other. They're right here in this room. I may not know one person with $1 million, but I know 1 million people, and they all have $1. And if we just pool our resources together, we have all the resources we'll ever need. We're the largest population on the face of this earth. If we can connect our cultural heritage in that spirit of rhythm and realize what we have in common, that the spokes of this wheel work, and whether we decide to take our platform to the United Nations or the world stage, as long as we're in communication, we've done our job. And so if you haven't learned anything from Brother Cliff's presentation, or if you decide to participate in the 6th Region Diaspora Caucus organization or not, please know that the most important element of this conversation is that we stay in communication. And we may never agree, we may never find a resolution, but if we stay connected in conversation, I think our job has been done, at least to set that platform for the next generation. Again, I'm Kim Poole, and I will have information about my initiative. We don't have time to discuss all that today, but if you are an artist and you're interested in supporting this movement or using your art to integrate into community for social transformation, again, being better because we've experienced conflict, being better because we've gone through the thick of the Ma'afa or whatever you use within your language to find the problems that we've experienced, then definitely connect with me. I'll be here with newspapers about that initiative, and thank you very much.
Liberia is the only country in Africa that came out of African American experience. But unfortunately, Liberia has never had a Pan-Africanist policy since the 60s. Okay, so you see most African Americans now traveling to Ghana because they see maybe the cultural policy, the political policy in Ghana is kind of suited to African American experience. And that has to go back to Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, where he emphasized so much on Pan-Africanism and not only in Africa, but Africa in the diaspora. So his foreign policy regarding African American experience was quite different from Liberia. So a lot of Liberians today are like, I think you've seen most of my writing, I always say that, why is it when Liberians talk about their close relationship with America, it is not between Liberia and the black community in America, but it's between Liberia and their former slave masters, the white people in America, the power structure. That's the unfortunate situation with Liberia.
Angara